Welcome back. I hope you're on pins and needles. Just to recap last week, we talked about how to approach designing your own space. We covered Marie Kondo, asking yourself questions to figure out what you wanted the space to encompass, like mood and color, how you use a space, how to create your story or mood concept board, how to measure your space for the correct proportions, and figuring out the largest pieces in the room and starting from there. And always remembering your sight lines. The last, and what I think is the most important is, any guesses? I'll give you a hint. If it's rainy or gloomy, you often feel lethargic and tired, and if it's sunny, you might have more energy and feel alive. Bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum, bum. What's lighting? It plays an incredible role in your space. It sets the mood, the tone, it affects your mood and tone, and it can accentuate all your flaws or make you look like Giselle. So here's what you can do to your own space. Number one, first of all, you can never beat natural light. In New York, you actually might be limited on how much you get in your apartment, but you want to capture much of it as possible. You can do that with reflective materiality like mirrors, glass pieces like coffee tables, or vases, or high gloss furniture or paint. Number two, you want your light to mimic the daylight. So bulb type and color type really matter. If it's too white, your interiors will look sterile, and it will actually pull the yellow from your skin, and you'll look sallow and ill. And your interiors will as well. Don't reach for the fluorescent unless you also want to look dead inside. Plus they leak mercury into the environment, so let's just not go there altogether, okay? Incandescent versus LED. Those are personal preference. I think LEDs are a little more flattering, but whichever you choose, you want them around 2700 Kelvin, and you can find that on the back of the box. Number three, layer all of your lighting. Ceiling, wall, floor, table. You want to think about all the available spaces for lighting to give depth and dimension to the space. This allows you to have them all on if you want it bright or only some. Why, you might ask? Because light was invented for a purpose. Is it for reading? Is it ambiance? Is it a work light? Overhead light is great. It obviously lights the room, but remember as a kid and you put the flashlight underneath your chin and you're like, wah, ha, 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 and you look really scary? Well, the same thing happens if it's just light from the top. Too much will cause shadows under your eyes and accentuate wrinkles. I think you should angle them more towards the wall if you can. Take cues from makeup artists. All their light is in front of the model. So pair down lights with some at eye level, like maybe it's a floor lamp, maybe it's a table lamp, or it's wall sconces. Not only does layering light allow your eye to travel the space, but it gives you options on how to set the mood and tone. Fun fact, a lot of apartments in New York don't have overhead lights, and that's okay, because we have number four. I recommend spending the money on wired-in wall sconces and table lamps that turn on with a wall switch, so you don't have to run around turning them all on and off. And number five, it goes without saying, but I'll say it, all lights should be dimmable. And if you can't afford an electrician to switch out your current switches, you can buy an adapter cord that will work great. So that gives you the option. If you're working from home, power it up. Having a dinner party, dim it down. Start with a high wattage like 100, so you have the option to dim up or down. You cannot do the reverse. Personally, I think lighting acts as the jewelry of the space, much like earrings to your outfit. They can be flashy, simple, glamorous, antique, modern, whatever. You can mix and match if you want. The lighting itself will set the tone, but the piece itself can really add to the space aesthetically. And don't worry, I know in New York in particular, we are often limited to where we can place the lights. And let me tell you, it never seems to be where you want to put a dining room table. So there are a lot of companies like the Cord Company that make beautiful and colorful cords so you can rewire your lighting and swag it, not only making a statement, but bringing the light source exactly where you want it to be. Inside tip, I do that a lot actually with regular table lamps and floor lamps, making a drab core be a random place, well, not so random, where we add a pop of color in an unexpected way. If you have a question about lighting or what you can do to brighten up your space, especially in this effed up environment and with this yucky weather, you know how to reach me. Till next time.